on the confidence with which we ought to recommend ourselves to the Mother of God. In the Gospel on the second Sunday after the Epiphany, we read that Jesus Christ, having been invited, went with his Holy Mother to a marriage in Cana of Galilee. The wine failing, Mary said to her divine Son, "They have no wine." By these words she intended to ask her Son to console the spouses, who were afflicted because the wine had failed. Jesus answered, "Woman, what is it to me and to thee? My hour is not yet come." He meant that the time destined for the performance of miracles was that of his preaching through Judea. But though his answer appeared to be a refusal of the request of Mary, the Son, says Saint Chrysostom, resolved to yield to the desire of the mother. Although he said, "My hour is not yet come," he granted the petition of his mother. Mary said to the waiters, "Whatsoever he shall say to you, do ye." Jesus bid them fill the water pots with water. The water was changed into most excellent wine. Thus the bridegroom and the entire family were filled with gladness. From the fact related in this day's Gospel, let us consider, in the first point, the greatness of Mary's power to obtain from God the graces which we stand in need of, and in the second, the tenderness of Mary's compassion and her readiness to assist us in all our wants. So great is Mary's merit in the eyes of God, that, according to Saint Bonaventura, her prayers are infallibly heard. The merit of Mary is so great before God, that her petition cannot be rejected. But why are the prayers of Mary so powerful in the sight of God? It is, says Saint Antonine, because she is his mother. The petition of the Mother of God partakes of the nature of a command, and therefore it is impossible that she should not be heard. The prayers of the saints are the prayers of servants, but the prayers of Mary are the prayers of a mother, and therefore, according to the Holy Doctor, they are regarded in a certain manner as commands by her Son, who loves her so tenderly. It is then impossible that the prayers of Mary should be rejected. Hence, according to Cosmas of Jerusalem, the intercession of Mary is all-powerful. He writes, "Omnipotens auxilium tuum, O Maria." It is right, as Richard of St. Lawrence teaches, that the Son should impart his power to the Mother. Jesus Christ, who is all-powerful, has made Mary omnipotent as far as a creature is capable of omnipotence. That is, omnipotent in obtaining from him, her divine Son, whatever she asks. Cum autem iadam sit potestes filiae, et matres ab omnipotente filio omnipotens mater facta est. Saint Bridget heard our Saviour one day addressing the Virgin in the following words: "Ask from me whatever you wish, for your petition cannot be fruitless. My mother, ask of me what you please. I cannot reject any prayer which you present to me, because since you refuse me nothing on earth, I will refuse you nothing in heaven." Saint George, Archbishop of Nicomedia, said that Jesus Christ hears all the prayers of his mother, as if he wished thereby to discharge the obligation which he owes to her for having given to him his human nature, by consenting to accept him for her Son. Filius exolvens debitum petitiones tuas implet. Hence Saint Methodius, martyr, used to say to Mary, "Uge, uge, quae dobitorum habes filium, Dio inum universi debimus, tibi autem illi debitor est." That is, "Rejoice, rejoice, O Holy Virgin, for thou hast for thy debtor that Son to whom we owe all debtors. To thee he owes the human nature which he received from thee." Now on to the second point, which is the tender compassion of Mary and her readiness to assist us in all our wants. The tenderness of Mary's mercy may be inferred from the fact related in this day's Gospel. The wine fails. The spouses are troubled. No one speaks to Mary to ask her Son to console them in their necessity. But the tenderness of Mary's heart, which, according to Saint Bernardine of Siena, cannot but pity the afflicted, moves her to take the office of advocate, and without being asked to entreat her Son to work a miracle. Unasked, she assumed the office of an advocate and a compassionate helper. Hence adds the same saint, if, when asked this good lady has done so much, what will she not do for those who invoke her intercession? Si hoc non rogata perficit, quid rogata perfiet. St. Peter Damian says that the Virgin loves us with an invincible love. How ardently soever the saints may have loved this amiable Queen, their affection fell far short of the love which Mary bore to them. It is this love that makes her so solicitous for our welfare. The saints in heaven, says St. Augustine, have great power to obtain grace from God for those who recommend themselves to their prayers. But as Mary is of all the saints the most powerful, so she is of all the most desirous to procure for us the divine mercy. Sicut omnibus sanctis potentior, sic omnibus est pro nobis solicitor. And as this our great advocate once said to St. Bridget, she regards not the iniquities of the sinner who has recourse to her, but the disposition with which he invokes her aid. If he comes to her with a firm purpose of amendment, she receives him, and by her intercession heals his wounds, and brings him to salvation. However great a man's sins may be, if he shall return to me, I am ready instantly to receive him. Nor do I regard the number or the enormity of his sins, but the will with which he comes to me. For I do not disdain to anoint and heal his wounds, because I am called, and I truly am, the Mother of Mercy. Let us, then, in all our wants, be most careful to have recourse to this Mother of Mercy, who is always ready to assist those who invoke her aid. In venis semper paratam auxiliari, says Richard of St. Lawrence. She is always prepared to come to our help, and frequently prevents our supplications. But ordinarily she requires that we should pray to her, and is offended when we neglect to ask her assistance. In te Domine peccant, says St. Bonaventure. Non solum qui tibi injuriarum irrogant, sed etiam qui te non rogant. Thou, O Blessed Lady, art displeased not only with those who commit an injury against thee, but also with those who do not ask favours from thee. But to obtain special favours from this good lady, we must perform in her honour certain devotions practised by her servants, such as, first, to recite every day at least 5 decades of the Rosary; secondly, to fast every Saturday in her honour. Many persons fast every Saturday on bread and water. You should fast in this manner at least on the vigils of her 7 principal festivals. Thirdly, to say the 3 Aves when the bell rings for the Angelus Domini, and to salute her frequently during the day with an Ave Maria, particularly when you hear the clock strike, or when you see an image of the Virgin, and also when you leave or return to your house. Fourthly, to say every evening the Litany of the Blessed Virgin before you go to rest, and for this purpose procure an image of Mary, and keep it near your bed. Fifthly, to wear the scapular of Mary in sorrow, and of Mount Carmel. There are many other devotions practised by the servants of Mary, but the most useful of all is to recommend yourself frequently to her prayers. Never omit to say 3 Aves in the morning, to beg of her to preserve you from sin during the day. In all temptations have immediate recourse to her, saying, Mary, assist me. To resist every temptation it is sufficient to pronounce the names of Jesus and Mary, and if the temptation continues, let us continue to invoke Jesus and Mary, and the devil shall never be able to conquer us.